So the map veto. Speaking of what matters, what maps are we going to be playing?
Yep.
Let's find out right now. Get a best of 3, so we have 3 total. Clubhouse, Border, and Coastline. So that is 2 of the maps that we played in the previous set. Now, as we discussed during that series, Elephant Game versus Accelerate, this is going to be a huge advantage for Noble no matter how you look at it, because
100%.
every single thing that just happened on Clubhouse and Coastline is going to be an advantage. Like, Noble knows. They're aware. They know what Elephant Gang like to do on those 2 maps. So now they're going to have, just after watching that match, they're going to have a huge advantage.
And already Noble's Clubhouse is actually not too bad at all. They obviously beat Mouse Sports on it. They had no problems playing on the map before, so it's very possible that this might be the switch that they require to get that early push throughout the series. But we'll take a look at what you guys think, though. As usual, we have our community vote and Noble E-Gang. Oh, baby. Of course, we can't have ties. The best of 3 and half has to be a winner, but 47-53.
If there ever were a match to give us a tie, then this would be probably one of them if we were in a best of 1. But not the case here. Very close result there, and it stands to reason, I think. Got to be honest. Elephant Gang took the vote there, just barely, but they did. And that's the expectations we had for them going into the first series. We thought Elephant Gang was going to win there.
They were like 74%.
Yeah, and they need to live up to that expectation. Yep. And again, it's worth noting that if you look at it long run, Elephant Gang has about the same amount of, if you add up all the players, about the same amount of measured Pro League experience as Noble, and that's with Elephant Gang missing the last season.
Well, we'll see how the operator bans go with this one. Lion will be the first one taken out, as E-Gang will get the second ban here for the attacking side. It'll be a Dokkaebi, will it be the Glass? And it'll be the Glass. There you go. So it means quite possibly a Mira and an Echo ban on the defense, which would not surprise any human being on this planet and in this galaxy, quite probably.
Are there human beings in other parts of the galaxy?
Hey, man, statistically speaking, it's very possible.
All right. Echo banned out, and there you go.
Let's be honest, Space Station are probably from another planet.
All right. They're from another planet.
Okay. Echo and Maestro banned. Interesting. I like this.
So that's a lot of the indirect denial for the defense just gone.
Here's the big thing, though. Maverick not banned.
Yeah.
Hard Breacher removed.
That's going to be a lot of options for the attack. I have to say, if I'm looking at this is definitely going to be an attacker-sided ban phase. Maestro and Echo, 2 very powerful tools that are gone. Lion and Glaz, of course, also powerful tools that are gone. But those are foregone conclusions. Technically speaking, I guess one of the Echo Maestro, but one of them's going to be definitely gone. But Lion and Glaz expected. And there's still plenty of tools available for the attacking team. As much as you have Mira in play for defense, and interestingly, actually going to be 6 picked out of by ZZ. That's kind of an odd change. So it's going to be the basement here for Noble. And of course, I don't believe we've updated the roster sheet yet. It was incorrect.
Been playing on the team for like the past month.
Yeah, so it's worth noting that it's not heavy. It's easy.
Yeah.
We don't know whatever. He's been playing.
Yes.
For Noble.
He's here
for a long time.
He's alive. He's doing it.
Yeah, and not on the roster though. Anyway, so basement defense here on Clubhouse. Definitely a sensible site to start off on, but again, you touched on it. The hard destructors are, well, aplenty. You can pick any of them, and 2 will be being brought. Thermite and Habana. Makes sense.
Yeah, the Yeti, of course, bringing the Pulse. It gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of, hey, do you want to snipe one of the opponent's important operators from the bottom floor? Do you want to do it where you play close up to the hallway with an unreinforced side? And there's quite a few options that you can play with the Pulse. Even set them on Church if there's a late round attack where a walk-in from Moto can definitely be shut down with a quick and easy C4, and at least information can be carried through. Ghost coming in and immediately clearing the top floor by server and cache. I like this. Cash has always been in a strong position, and here, the fact that the Vigil is in play, it's even more important to clear that out. And there you go. Everything from the top floor will get spotted, and the kitchen even being held here from the top of the logistics office. Just swinging around, and we'll go for the drown.
So slow going so far from Elephant Gang. I have to imagine that the initial fight is going to have a lot to do with how this match turns out, because these teams, high pressure here, and haven't really met each other in a while, obviously being separated by leagues, but this is the moment for Elephant Gang to shine, and on the other hand, this is Noble's moment to show up, as they haven't been throughout the season.
One thing oh no, the C4, there you go. We're just talking about it, and that's the important operator taken away. That's the buck. No, one thing I want to ask Marcio, can we check out ZZ for just a second, see what equipment he's running? He's running the bulletproof camera. There you go. No Mira, but instead of having the impact, he's going to play more on the site and play around it. The bulletproof camera will give a lot of information if smokes will be in play for E-Gang.
Yeah, so that's a really, I think, a sensible operator selection. On this site especially, Mira's useful, but she can hurt the attack coming from Church Wall, but I honestly think playing more dynamic on the basement is definitely better. And having a fully reinforced Church Wall allows you that dynamic play. Trippin with a double kill at the bottom of the main stairs, though. Yeti and ZZ a little too aggressive there, trying to push their way up. Speaking of aggression, Breezy onto K9 just by the Moto drop. Acid is attempting to hold on to Blue at a very long angle, but he's being challenged, and that's Ghost all the way down there with Zofia. Smoke canisters coming out from Breezy in an attempt to deny the push-in through Moto, and he will be successful, but from the side, he's taking damage from Ghost. Somehow not finished off, but left on 25 HP. Not a great situation, and as he rotates, Trippin pushes in. The refrag is there for Crazy, though, because Trippin does not check the corner, and there's only 5 seconds left in this 2 versus 2. Crazy, the playmaker, as he holds out the sight against the 3, he will very narrowly miss the triple kill. But the clock manages to lock things out there, and the defense take round number 1.
It's just the one player sitting on the side. You have the hard breachers, open up the church wall and walk in.
The crazy thing to me, sorry, the weird thing to me is that nobody checked for Crazy in that corner.
Yeah, after he got a first kill.
Yeah.
Where's the response?
And even then, before, he shouldn't have been allowed to get 100%. The first kill, because nobody cleared default corner. Behind the minibar and by black box inside of church is the standard anchor position on that site, and not one of the attackers was checking it. There were even melee holes made in the minibar. I'm so confused as to why it was left unaccounted for. And well, Crazy made the best of it, and he won the round for his team. So we go to Cash as the next defense for Noble.
All right, well, we'll see if Cash is a repeat, basically, of that first round. The Mute will be brought up, as usually it's either the Mute or the Bandit. Some teams will play both. Reinforcements down in the garage, nothing out of the ordinary. Acid as well, setting up a Mute Jammer by the top of the stairs here in garage. It's turning a bit more complicated for the attackers, and this screams to me Yeti will play in garage and try to deny entrance from there. There's quite a bit that he can do from it, especially having the ACOG. Now, one thing, okay, first of all, he sets up a bulletproof camera to watch through the potentially open wall later on in the round, but also he can play the garage in a deceptively effective manner. Here's the thing. Try to push garage and you're walking in from the kennels. A lot of times as an attacker, you won't realize how big of an angle the defenders have when they're watching all the way through there. There's just, it's such a huge angle that until you play that position yourself, you don't really realize how huge of an angle it is that is played against you. But early on, K9 will set in up top and will open a hole all the way down. So we'll have some sort of angle and potential rotations from the garage. But right now, taking their time, And E-Gang will just start walking in and clearing out as much of the site as possible. Again, or as much of the bedroom as possible. Thermite and Habana in play.
So, slow take in from Master, but the utility is abundant for the attack. Interesting, we've got an impact prep for the construction wall, but we've also got a halfway reinforced wall. So we've seen this before. Curious decision for the defense, but one that can work.
Yeah, I'm still not sold on it, but you know, we'll see how effective it is. It really is a very reactive way of playing the site, I guess.
or ZZ C4 from below onto Avian. Well placed, and that's Habana gone. So half of the hard destruction eliminated, but more importantly, I think at this point, just a kill, to be honest. Onto anyone would be nice. There's a little utility play to go around on this last site. The defense is starting to lock down on the construction push. This is what makes construction push so difficult. We see it a lot, but it's just a bit of a bottleneck. In the bottleneck, though, Ghost will take down Acid, so that's -1 C4 for the defense. ZZ, having already expended his, will continue to play downstairs in an attempt to deny the doorway using the drop down. Breezy missing his shot onto the buck will fall off the angle towards that server window and will try to play the utility instead, denying the doorway into Cash. It's good utility usage, but it might be a little too early. Yeti, an excellent shot, and will run out, destroy the Claymore, and then go for a follow-up. Misses those, though, and Ghost will be allowed to take down ZZ as a result. Neptunes and Ghost both inside of Cash, but Breezy will take down one, and Yeti gets the other. A nice collapse there from Noble, setting up a trap inside of Cash, and collapsing as a unit.
Commendations to Yeti here, being able to play so excellently, finding the shot on the Thatcher, and then coming out for even more damage to be relayed on the attackers as they're walking in to the side. The thing is, E-Gang had already opened up the entry into the servers. They had 2 angles to push in from. Unfortunately, they were 1 man down, which didn't help their push. And on top of that, they weren't expecting the Doc to just jump in and engage them that fast. Thatcher had no clue what was going on there. There was a lot of time denial being used with the C4s, with the smokes, but I have to say, the fact that that wall is half reinforced from between construction and Cash, I think it's a bit more of a mental game as well. Now, I'd love to pick the brains of some of the players that are using this strategy, but specifically for me, I see it as a way to lull the attackers into a false sense of security, where they're like, you know what, we don't even have to worry about breaching into this. We can just, you know, open it with our buck or with whatever we have. Well, you can, but it just sets up for the defenders to be able to play against you, and it puts you in a tunnel vision position for the attackers, that is. Maybe I'm digging too deep into the psychology of Siege and a half-reinforced wall, but hey, who knows? I'd love to hear it.
I think, honestly, it is just leaving an opportunity available to your opponents. I think it's something that can be locked out, and it's not being locked out. It's curious, but it worked out for Noble. I think that a big part of that also has to do with how Noble set up Cash Room as a trap. You know, they very much wanted Elephant Gang to push into Cash. There was nobody from Noble playing in Cash. They were waiting for that push to happen. They had C4s, gas canisters, players just waiting for that exact push. And once it came out, collapse from Noble and a massacre. So it was probably just Noble playing into that little trap mentality, and it worked out. Now, going on to a gym defense, because Noble's been successful on their 2 standard go-to sites, basement and Cash Room, they will have to go to their 3rd. And it's already a pretty good start here. Crazy will take down Neptunes, and Breezy takes out Trippin.
What are you doing, E-Gang? Why are you dropping into logistics office like that? Always take Cash first, then think about coming in. You notice that Cash is not clear. You notice that construction is still uncontested. Holding an angle won't win you the fight, and definitely not dropping right into the site, expecting for it to work miracles for you. That's not how it works.
And ZZ will eliminate Ghost playing on the window. So it's a complete shutout here from Noble. 2 versus 5. Yeti's looking to make that a 1 versus 5, but he'll miss his shots. Still, though, he gets away scot-free, and now K9 has to pay attention to that server window for the rest of the round.
Yeah, it's just Noble at the helm, in control, and there's nothing that E-Gang are able to do. And this is when we say this map is mostly defender-sided, this is why. This is how it should be turning out, but a lot of times attackers are able to find certain holes to play through, but it's just, I guess, the Pro League experience when, well, that won't help ZZ in this one as he'll go down, but still 4v2, an advantage for Noble, 1 minute and 8 seconds on the clock, a ton of time to be played for our Regal team here as Yeti is still in cash and he can pounce at any moment in time. Still a bulletproof camera that is set up in the gym, which will monitor Avian's every single move as he finally takes down that default camera. The peak, and Yeti will win it! Still at half health, K9 will go down. And Avian, well, he's going to send Bandit flying here as Breezy will go down. But he's at half health and will have to walk into the A site. Crazy is ready from construction and destroys Avian there, hitting the head right on the beak. Honestly, 2 players dropping into the logistics office without clearing cash, without clearing construction. What are you doing?
Yeah, that was just a waste of life there for Elephant Gang. And Noble took full advantage. Following that, we saw the pressure being applied from the north windows, but there was so little. I mean, just you lost all the manpower, and now you're trying to do something that is heavy reliant on manpower, which is applying that pressure, as I discussed. You just don't have the tools anymore. They're gone. They died. You know, that was a curious round for Elephant Gang, and a complete shutout. Great job to Noble. They will go back to the basement, full circle on the site selection in terms of having won every single defense. They really don't have a choice as to where they go, unless you count Bar's choice, which I don't think anybody really does.
Yeah, I mean, this is a point where having a lot of choices doesn't really help you.
Yeah,
the illusion of choice.
Remember when Bar was the site to go to? Not so much anymore.
Was it really ever a site? Well,
it was the number 2 site because the other sites were just
cash and bedroom. They were atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah. That one little connector, man, solved so many problems.
Yeah, and well, in the meantime, it did give bedroom and cash such a huge overall that nobody really wants to play Bar anymore, and Glaz gets banned quite a bit, which means attackers, don't use the usual Monty plus Glaz. It's very interesting to see how small changes in the map completely change how it's being played, but you then add to that operator bans that will compound the changes. It's just, it's a very, to use a very overused caster term, very interesting.
All right. Basement defense once more. The last time we saw the attack come out, the thing that ultimately allowed Noble to win the round was that they didn't see Crazy in the standard hold position of minibar inside of church.
Yeah.
They pushed 3 people into church. Nobody checked the bar. Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Now, I think they aren't going to make that mistake a second time. It's my guess. But it's... there's other layers to the defense, and it's always a problem where you'll focus on correcting one mistake you made in the previous round, and you'll forget about all the other things that can go wrong. So hopefully that doesn't happen to Elephant Gang.
Yeti setting up here. An interesting thing in that very first round, we saw the 2-man push with the Pulse. Pulse plus the Vigil, trying to land the kills.
Yeah.
But then they were both killed by the Thermite very easily because for some reason there was just no angle being held, the Vigil wasn't ready for it, information wasn't really, whatever it was. It ended up a double kill that should not have happened. And even with that, Crazy had the perfect position with nobody really calling it out or trying to deal with it from E-Gang's side. And that was basically a free round that was given there at the end. Now information gathering here on the drone. Some utility will get shut down. Avian will continue to drone through into blue and is completely clear. So there is a possibility to walk in from the blue stairs that obviously are such a strong position for the attackers, and Ghost will already be moving from the oil pit to walk closer and closer towards it, as ZZ will try to engage long range of the MP5. It's definitely not, or the M5K specifically there. It's definitely not a great weapon to use at range, but hey, one-shot headshots and they can definitely do the damage. The interesting part is that the Twitch is finally being played, which is not usually a thing.
K9 really likes playing Twitch.
All right. Well, and yeah, he makes it happen. Yeti will go down, and he finds the kill, the F2. You see there's a bulletproof camera all the way at the other side of the hallway watching from the armory as Breezy sets up yet again here. He waddles through his smoke, and he finds the kill. Falls back and still has teammates to play around. Crazy will get one more on Neptunes as they'll try to walk in from blue here, Elephant Gang. And here the announcer, there's 10 seconds on the clock. They have to walk in. More damage being done to Avian, but Crazy will find the headshot. Kana will go down, and ZZ finds the last two on the Birdman and Ghost. Spooky plays there from Noble, but this is definitely putting the spooks on the E-Gang. And here it's maybe not the mice that are scaring the elephant.
Yeah, definitely a pretty one-sided match so far for Noble. And, I mean, that's all there is to say about it, I suppose. Elephant Gang, when they tried to come in there, I mean, it's a standard Moto blue take. They put a little bit more emphasis on blue than they had in the past, less emphasis on Moto. But once more, Crazy playing minibar, and he was actually attended to, though K9 did not win his fight. So no double up inside of Church. No one else pushing with K9 out of Moto meant there was no refrag, which meant there was no site control, which meant there was no diffuser plant, and you get where I'm going with this. So, a nice hold there, again, for Noble. Their last defense will be on Cash. Again, having won every single defense thus far, they really don't have much choice in their site selection. Again, they could go to Bar, but they're not going to. Why would they? Overall, Elephant Gang have been kind of stopped at every turn. And, you know, this calls into question. Is this right here an example of a Challenger League team playing against a Pro League team?
Yeah, and a lot of people were like, oh, but Noble, but...
Yes,
look at them.
Because, you know, Noble, let's be honest, Noble had a really bad season.
Yes.
They played terribly. But right now, with 4-0, it's looking like the caliber of play is just different. And that's the curious thing, you know, Elephant Gang, we've talked about it again. I'll talk about it once more. Elephant Gang has a lot of experienced Pro League players on their roster. This is not some Challenger League players that have never been at this level of play. You know, Avian and K9 both played in Pro League for a long time. I mean, overall, lots of experience, right? But it's not shining through here. Maybe it comes back to what we were talking about earlier, which was the getting tired after playing their first match.
Definitely.
Whatever the case, it's looking rough right now.
It might be a combination of them just being tired, but also really not being mentally prepared after that last game.
Yeah, they seemed like they wanted to win the first. I mean, obviously they wanted to win the first game. Duh. But it seemed like they weren't equipped to lose it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Maybe it's the pressure, social media, I guess, that puts on it when there's so much hype behind you. It's possible.
Also, they did play Clubhouse just the previous match. Like, they ended... The Elephant Gang Accelerate match ended on Clubhouse. And then, what was it, 20 minutes later, you're playing Clubhouse again? That's... it's rough. And you know, Elephant Gang lost that. They lost on Clubhouse. That's why they're in this match right now. Well, here we go. I mean, whatever the case, their second attempt is not looking so great on this map.
Yeah, 100%. Noble, if they can get that 5-0, would definitely be a huge advantage for them. Minute 18 on the clock, and the E-Gang are at least looking pretty, having opened up the site here. But you don't want to rely on late round fights. Oh no, the twitch of K9 running right in front of ZZ. Can't land that shot there, but that was too close for comfort, I have to say. And ZZ taking a lot of damage in the engagement. What Noble have to do is at least stay alive until the final push from E-Gang. The numbers advantage here would be huge for the defense, as Yeti will put ZZ back on full health, and there you go. The struggles of your dock main, always trying to keep your teammates up and ready to receive some of their meds. So Ghost will get 1 kill here, eliminating the smoke. That is a huge pick. This might really open things up for eGang, and that's what we were talking about before. Why no Ying? Well, still wouldn't work. Neptunes will go down, and the Habana had already rushed in. K9 will take a lot of damage. Habana trying to plant in as Ghost will get yet another one. 4v3, but the angle from Acid is held perfectly. They fall back into construction here. 3v3, but the health advantage to Noble. K9 Ghost has both taken a lot of damage. Yeti not watching the window, but he somehow, Crazy's able to get the kill. Trippin and K9 both basically tripping all over one another. There's still a lot of time, and they're going in for the Ninja Defuse. Trippin will get 1. Yeti will refrag, but K9 taking down Crazy. This can all go south as it's all up to K9. Will he have the time to jump in and go for the kill? He'll walk right into it. Yeti will find it! Does he have enough time on it? There's barely enough to get this one done. Noble can get the 5-0 here, and Yeti should have this one done and dusted. And there you go, the defense of Noble sets the 5th round on the board with a beautiful retake. Yet again, Yeti, the undisputable champion of this matchup for Noble, showing up round after round, and that dock was made for me and you.
That was a beautiful play by Yeti. Really fantastic. You know, let's I was about to say let's talk about the elephant in the room. And I didn't realize
they're not in the room, I guess.
I didn't realize what I was actually saying, but what I wanted to discuss was Noble's last match. And
yeah,
you know, we're gonna go ahead and touch on it. It was overshadowed that Noble won against Mouse,
yes,
by the discussions that went on surrounding that win. And you know, say what you will, they did win.
Yes,
and they are in this position right now. They are competing to maintain their position in Pro League right now because they won there.
Yes.
No matter how you look at it, they won. Period. Now, right now, the reason that that's relevant to me is that Noble are playing like not only do they want to stay in Pro League, but they want to prove to people that they belong in Pro League.
It wasn't a fluke.
It wasn't a fluke. That's exactly it. And they're certainly proving that right now. I mean, okay, hey, first map of the series, it's not over yet. Elephant Gang could still win. We could see Elephant Gang win 5 in a row, win in overtime here, and then win the next map and just lock it out, be done. That could totally happen. But Noble are playing better than I've seen them play in a good long while. And again, I think it's them trying to prove that they belong. Because, yeah, after that win, I mean, people weren't talking about, hey, Noble won. That's not what people were saying after they won.
They were talking about the wrong thing, in my opinion. It's just, I think, again, it comes down to like the social aspect of a lot of things that happen in here, and you know, it kind of overshadowed the fact that they were actually able to do it and very handily.
And Noble right now are looking for that respect.
Yes.
And that's evident in the way they play, and it's awesome. It's great to see because it reminds me of the Noble we saw at the beginning of the season when
100%.
they were winning, when they were up 2-0. You know, they looked really good, and then just it all started slipping away. And then maybe we're going to get that Noble back for the next season if they continue to play in Pro League. But again, I'll say it, it's not over yet.
Here's the thing. Noble, throughout the regular season of Pro League, played Clubhouse 3 times. They played once against Rogue, which was a 6-4 for Rogue, which was a tight game. Then 3 weeks later, at week 10, they lost to EG 6-0. And the last game was, again, the 6-2 win that they had against Mouse Sports on week 14. Which means that if you're able to punch up the Rogue at that level, there's something to be said there. Now, obviously, EG is EG, and maybe, you know, that was when EG was back after the Paris Major. They were on the resurgence, and they were pretty much ready to take that #1 spot to make it to Rio, which was the week that solidified their position. But still, doing damage against teams like, you know, like Rogue and defeating Mouse in that final playdate definitely shows that they have the opportunity to do so. And here, they're just manhandling eGang, but here, at least Noble will open up the outside. They use the Maverick pretty well. The mirror is available, but to no avail, I guess, here. Avian will get shot down. Breezy in the crossfire here against Ghost. But Ghost will win that one out. ZZ with the refrag. C4 will not connect. A bit of damage done, but not enough to clean up the kill.
That's a really bad blunder there for K9. ZZ will go down to Ghost, though, so nice and even at a 3 versus 3. Yeti control of Garage. Ghost from behind, though, wreaking havoc, and Crazy goes down. Excellent play on the flank. Being allowed to roam is what is getting Ghost so much success. Yeti pushing his way into the server, and Acid will go for a defuse plant. Yeti there to cover. Ghost could come from behind at any moment, and Yeti's just missing his shots. Acid going to stick the plant, but he will die immediately after. And the very first round for Elephant Gang.
This is some sort of saving grace for E-Gang to not get 6-0'd on this first map. And
I mean, it's all defense wins now after that, too.
Yep, that's six rounds in a row that are all defensive rounds. There you go.
That could be why we saw Noble put themselves up in such an advantage. Maybe it just...
5 is just insane.
I mean, 5 is insane, yeah, but it could just be the case that neither of these teams are good at attacking on this map. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah, especially against one another. I guess they have it on lockdown.
Elephant Gang won 2 attacks on their previous attempt of this map. 2. And it wasn't enough, obviously, to get them the win. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So maybe it's just a bit of a risk. Or not a bit of a risk. Maybe it's just a struggle to win attacks on Clubhouse. I don't even know why I'm speculating. It is. It's a difficult one to win attacks on.
Yep. Yeah, Noble will switch around here and go for the tried and tested Thermite plus Hibana combo, as they realize the Maverick didn't really do too much for them in the previous round, and obviously you can't play on the same site twice in a row after having won it, so we can't go back to cash. So I would understand why, if you're expecting to go all the way down to Church, you'll be bringing both the Hibana and the Thermite. Again, we talked about this so many times. Hibana opens up the hatches, the Thermite is there just in case she dies, but she also has an extra charge if needed to go for a last-minute take on Church.
Push,
yeah. There's just so much that you can do having those two.
The tunnel.
Operate. Yeah. We saw it in a previous matchup.
Yeah.
Where hey, you're gonna walk into the armory. Well, you can have the flank being set up from construction, or well, tunnel, and now we call it.
It's essential too.
Yeah.
Like, because if you don't have somebody coming in from tunnel and you're pushing through the kitchen drop and the armory wall, then you're gonna get torn to shreds by anyone playing back arsenal or back armory.
So there you go. That's why you bring the 2, I guess. The Twitch being played here by Crazy. I guess we saw a bit of that for K9 as well. I'm not sure if Noble were expecting any sort of utility play or Miras, so they can use their Twitch drone against it. But again, it's the F2, and the F2 is a great weapon to use, and then you have the extra utility on top of that. It just, there's a few different ways of, playing and seeing the Twitch as an operator for your squad. Even full fallback on the Vigil and stick the site running the SMG, or the CZ75.
CZ75, definitely the more popular sidearm these days after that nerf to the SMG-12. ZZ will eliminate Neptune. So there you go. There's the momentum set. An unreinforced dropdown, curiously, in stock. That's going to allow for Hibana to keep one of the charges, but actually, that's really bad. Okay, so that unreinforced dropdown just got the defense a kill. Instead of opening the drop with the Hibana to begin with, they called for Yeti to rotate into stock, and in the middle of that rotation, oh, look at that, there's a Trippin getting a kill. So great decision, I guess, for the defense to leave that unreinforced.
Obviously, it's a mistake from Noble in that position. I see why they wouldn't want to waste the next Kairos on a soft hatch, but at the same time, you have both hard breachers. You can kind of deal with it. There's no mute. There's no bandit.
There's no pressure to not waste hard destruction.
100%.
Whoa!
Oh, crazy!
And Breezy getting kills of their own. Noble have regained momentum, but they're starting to see it stemmed a little bit by Ghost playing on the main stairs. He has downed the diffuser, and he will now be attempting to hold it, as is the sensible play, given the attackers are already working at site control and have the man advantage. Working up the main stairs, Breezy and Crazy looking for Ghost, who will peek wide but miss the majority of his shots, and because of that, Noble will push towards the site. K9 sees his teammate rotate back. And that's going to be the Ela inside of blue, a very powerful position, but he will die to ZZ as he makes a melee hole. K9 now in a 1 versus 3. Diffuser being planted, and he cannot play time in this situation. Thatcher by Black Box gets the diffuser down. Over to blue goes K9, but this is not a great position because there are no rotation holes. What a shot through the wall. ZZ goes down, and the chances of winning this round just got a little bit brighter for K9, but it's still going to be difficult. Thatcher continuing to play by Black Box. On top of the diffuser. Inside of Moto is going to be your Twitch. And he will win the fight. Crazy takes the headshot and the first map with it. And we move to map number 2, Border.
All right, that was beautiful team play there coming out from Noble to clean things out. And honestly, it was so weird to watch. Like, somebody could probably put the Benny Hill music on top of that rotation to go up, grab the diffuser around the Ela, and run back down.
I gotta imagine that round could have played out so differently if Ghost had just played on the main stairs. Dude, play to your strengths. I don't know if he knew he had the diffuser down or not, but yeah, Ela, main stairs, that is gonna get you at least 1 kill. Okay, let's say 2 people push you at once, 2 attackers. They push you at once, you're gonna kill 1 at least, maybe 2. They might refrag you, but hey, that puts it into a 1 versus 1 for K9 later in the round.
Yeah, it's definitely an advantage that was wasted there at the end, but with the way the entire map went, really, it was kind of a one-sided affair.
I guess, yeah, in the end, it probably wouldn't have mattered because, I mean, you're looking at winning 5 rounds in a row to answer back to Noble's 5.
And then, you know, play overtime after it. It would definitely be a great comeback.
But
I think...
we've only seen that a couple times.
Yeah, the clock can't strike midnight at every single time we're doing these sorts of things, so...
Oh, well, I suppose for E-Gang, we move to map 2, and again, that's going to be Border. So luckily for E-Gang, this is a map that was not played in the previous series. So it's really big because Noble definitely had a huge information advantage in that previous match.
Yes.
They must have just been picking apart E-Gang's clubhouse piece by piece, and that's obviously going to contribute to why that map was so dominant in Noble's favor.
Yeah, and the one round and the second one that could have gone the way of E-Gang was the ones that they played out of the ordinary, where it wasn't something that they were running in the first matchup when they were playing on this very same map, not but 45 to an hour ago, 45 minutes an hour ago. So yeah, this is also something to keep in mind. But Noble, they put themselves ahead of their opponents. That's one map. Now we're getting ready for our second one. It should be heading on to Border in just a minute. So interesting to see how Border plays out, as I assume we'll be going for similar operator bans. The fact that both the Echo and the Maestro were banned as well definitely did affect the defense, as it looked like E-Gang were a lot more comfortable having the Maestro available for them to play than without having him.
Yeah, you definitely expect to see at least one of them push through, but sometimes they both get banned out. We'll see what happens, though, on Border. Here we go as we load in. It's going to E-Gang on defense, Noble on attack, which means that E-Gang will start the ban phase. And on Border, the bans on attack are extremely relevant. We've seen operators like Thermite be banned out, and attacks can be shifted so dramatically from just one ban such as that.
Well, you see E-Gang are definitely scratching their heads to figure out which operator will be the first one on the chopping block. The thing is, not a lot of teams really want to deal with having a Lion or available even on the board. And E-Gang will remove the Glass, which means I'm expecting a lot more Blackbeard play. It's definitely a round or a map that caters to Blackbeard.
Yeah, there are also some players here that are going to be very strong on Blackbeard. K9 comes to mind.
So here, Noble will remove the Lion. So far, so standard. Mira potentially here on the defense as the first ban. No, it'll be the Maestro. All right. So
this is the exact same ban set so far as we saw on the last map. So if we want to have the same replica, it's going to be Echo as the last ban. But that would be
not surprising. There you go.
Yay! So a very predictable ban phase, as it was the same one we saw last time, and not only that, pretty much the same ban phase we see all the time. I mean, there's not a lot of variation when it comes to bans, man. Like, there's always, I think, there's never been a ban phase where one of the standard 4 aren't there.
It's rare. It happened twice where the smoke was banned. It happened twice where Jaeger was banned, and those were all early in the season.
But I mean, you're still always gonna have like either a lion or a glass or one of the hard destructors. You know, like it's always something standard.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, there's a reason why we're starting to call lion a standard ban, because
I mean, he is. Yeah, I mean that's.
Look at the history.
You ban lion.
Yeah, there's a reason why when he was released, he was at 100% pick rate for like literally 1 month in a row.
I think when we saw him come off of 100%, it was because I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was SK. I want to say whoever it was. I'm pretty sure it was just like, hey, we could take it off 100%. Let's do it.
Actually, here's the thing. Rogue, and if I remember correctly, and I know Ranger will correct me, they were the first ones to run it on, to not run it on border, because they're like,
was that it?
Yeah, because they're like, you know what? We're so good, and that was a point where, in my opinion, Rogue were kind of starting to outplay EG.
Yeah, that was their little peak. Yeah,
that was when they really did peak back in Season 7.
I say little peak, I mean short-lived peak. You know, they were definitely a step above EG for a moment.
Yeah.
But it was just that it was a moment, and then it slipped away.
But that specific peak, in my opinion, was because they realized, you know what, Lion is a great utility, but we don't really need to play him now, do we? So we'll just not play him. And if I remember correctly, it was Rogue, first team that didn't really run it, and then SK, if I remember correctly, was the team that started to move away from it as well, as bit by bit started to realize, you know what, we might not require him, we want other things, and then he got nerfed, and
then he stopped seeing so much play, and then he started seeing a bunch of play again.
And then he got banned, and then everybody was happy, and everybody rejoiced, and
oh wait, it's not banned.
Oh yes.
That's right. Players have to ban him in the match.
Yeah.
He's gonna be banned, but
it has to be done manually.
Yes. Grenade being prepped by Yeti from above, and he's going to do a little bit of damage to Neptunes. So that's good. He will also deny the bandit tricking inside office, which is much more important, allowing for the wall to be opened up. Good job to Acid and Yeti, both with great teamwork there.
Yeah, you see ZZ playing as well on the ventilation corner. You know, we said that on Latin America broadcast when Border was played. Don't try to do the rotation on the top floor, rotating down into ventilation, because you'll die. So don't do that.
The little roof drop.
Yes, the roof drop is not something that you can do no more if you haven't really been playing too much Border, because all you're getting is a night theme park or a night cafe. So,
dude, I actually played. I played Siege a couple days ago, and that's exactly all I got to play was night cafe, and I think I played night chalet.
Oh damn, that's the best one.
So Acid gonna start with his next thermite charge, and he's actually successful despite the bandit being in play there. Breezy will take down Avian before doing a little walk in place, but he's back, so we're good. 50 seconds left, and the attackers have the advantage in control in terms of manpower and for a moment there HP, but Breezy's gonna take a few bullets from the Jaeger of Ghost, and Yeti will take down Neptunes as Neptunes attempts to rush into office. Crazy onto Ghost, tripping downstairs will get one, but Breezy and ZZ finish it out. A complete collapse there for Noble. Little confusing, as it just seemed like the defense fell apart as if it were paper.
It seemed they were AFK, I guess. I don't know.
It did feel that way. Definitely a great attack there from Noble. And this is
the Valkyrie was in service, okay?
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Valkyrie was in there.
He was downstairs, I believe.
Yes, and there had already been the IQ that walked up the main stairs.
Yes.
Took damage, stood there for 30 seconds, and then went back down, rotated all the way to the other end of the workshop by the bathroom, went back and got the kill on the Valkyrie. And I'm like, hello?
Yes, the Valkyrie was in server throughout that entire exchange, and could have at any moment walked up behind the IQ and shot him if it had been communicated to the rest, or, well, to him, the Valkyrie, that the IQ was playing on main stairs. However, for whatever reason, in E-Gang, there was not that communication, and because of that, an opportunity was missed, indeed.
Okay. Thank you very much for that clarification.
Yes.
as we head into round number 2 here. We'll see if eGang can play this one better.
I got to be honest. I'm with you. It really did seem like eGang was not present in that last round. Definitely a struggle in every way. So Noble played it just systematic. You know, the standard fare. We're gonna push office. Okay, how does that work? Well, you deny the bandit tricking in office. You thermite the wall. Done. And very easily, very efficiently from Noble. From there, you open up the B wall and you start for your push into the site. Done. But as soon as the B wall was open, the site push wasn't necessary because eGang just kind of fell apart, and that was the end of the round.
Oh, they got 1 kill off of it, but I guess that's all they were able to do.
Yeah.
I'm just still flabbergasted by how that round ended up going through. But, you know, here we actually see a Mira being played on border, which is, you know, not your usual sight nowadays.
Here's the thing, you know, Elephant Gang, very formidable team. It just seems like maybe they're having some communication issues, possibly because of their previous loss. Maybe they're a little bit on tilt. We don't know. We can't hear their comms right now. Another thing to consider, Noble is an excellent team. They've been playing in Pro League for a while, and while they haven't seen much success, they're still a team to be feared, and they are proving that here today. I'm happy that Noble is going to get the opportunity because it was a little disheartening to see their win against Mouse and their retention of potential Pro League
overshadowed.
Overshadowed, yeah. Now, moving on from that, Noble have obtained control of CCTV. They're going for an A-wall take this time. Ooh, that's a blunder from ZZ. He's trying to hook the EMP on the wall there, and if he was able to do that, he would have cleared out any ADSs by half wall and any other electronics that are destroyed by Thatchers, but he missed. So
yeah, it's a difficult angle to lob it in and have the EMP lock in, and Avian will peek out and land the kill on ZZ. There you go. So that's something that they really did require, and eGang will have the advantage, and nothing reinforced in the armor.
What is going on with an unreinforced armory wall? That is a huge curiosity. Trippin will take down Yeti and Ghost onto Breezy, so the push in through the A wall and from the main hallway has been stopped, leaving just 2 attackers for Noble, Crazy, and Acid. They're going to have to push in to a very aggressive defense. The unreinforced wall, I guess, working in tandem with the mural window here that Trippin is using right this minute to allow for more angles of attack for the defense. It's been working out so far for Elephant Gang, so you really can't critique it, I suppose. Crazy peeking wide and will land some shots, but not enough to get the kill before the follow-up with the pistol will. Ghost shuts him down, though, and it's just Acid who will get one before being felled. And eGang take a round on border.
All right, and that's the second round, and the first one, as mentioned, for the Elephant Gang. Got the first one on the board. Can we talk about that soft wall in the armory for a second?
I mean, I guess, you know, angles are 2-way. Mirror window inside a small office. I guess they just really wanted to, you know, have the extra angles of attack. And all in all, I mean, it worked for them.
Yeah.
It did result in the wall being opened, but they were expecting that. They were playing off of that. It's just a little bit weird because, sure, okay, you can play off the angles once the wall is open, but usually you force your opponents to use some hard destruction. And if you can deny the hard destruction, in the off chance that you can deny the hard destruction, then you prevent your opponents from even attaining an angle and make it harder for the attack. That's why people reinforce it. I mean, all that said, hey, it worked for eGang. It worked. I can't...
Yeah.
Whatever.
Fair enough.
If it works, man. Speaking of if it works, man, K9 with a mirror window facing into the bomb site.
What?
From stock. Hey.
Oh no.
You know, we've seen this before. What it's gonna do is
this was the hallway, right?
It's gonna have full control of the hallway, and we've seen this work for teams before. I know it sounds crazy. The problem is that if you lose control of jail, which is that little room to your left there, bottom left of your screen, that's jail. Bottom right now. If you lose control of jail... Detention.
Or the EU call out, I guess.
Yeah, the room to your bottom right. If they thermite that wall open,
yes,
then the mirror window is completely exposed, which is why Trippin gonna put some batteries there. But still, it's a risk.
But that's why you play the Buck. Very easy for the Buck to repel and rotate in and destroy the side, and that's why there's a Buck. And the C4 thrown out. E-Gang do not connect. Now you need to take control of CCTV. So Armory will be in play here as well to provide crossfire.
Yeah, that's another thing. If you take control of above, you can just open above the mirror window and stock. I guess the reason the mirror window goes there, though, is that if the defenders lose it...
What?
What?
There's nobody in CCTV. There was 0 play against it.
Well, as I was trying to say, if they lose the mirror window, they don't lose much. Like, in terms of control, minus that mirror window, it's not the end of the world. You know, it doesn't really give the attackers much. And it doesn't cost the defenders much. But, you know, it does cost the defenders losing life. And that's going to be...
Acid's already in the plant.
Wait, what is going on?
What?
Diffuser being planted right now as the rest of the defenders are being shredded. The gas canister was placed correctly, but it was timed poorly, and the diffuser will go down. K9 gets Breezy on the retake, and the smoke rushing out the window will take down Acid. Well played to Ghost. K9 also peeking by the main doorway, but ZZ is there to deny the diffuse disable. It's going to be Yeti onto K9. The Valkyrie camera will give calls to Ghost, but he cannot stick the diffuse in the doorway. He will be spotted and eliminated. What has just happened? Noble walks into B, plants the diffuser, and E-Gang has no response.
So here's the thing. Nobody's in Armory, nobody's in CCTV. You put most of your utility on the to hold the hallway, but the thing is you're not going to hold that position for long, if at all.
Yeah, it's a fallback position. You know, it's well, not a fallback position. Pardon, it is a fall off position.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't need it in the long run, but I mean,
there's a reason why, you know, you play on the workshop, you defend the Armory, you defend Fountain, you hold archives.
That's the thing. As soon as they lost stock, they had no control of the site.
Because now the mirror window works against you.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, the mirror window works against you in the hallway, and that's fine, but the site, you could still play in the site.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's not...
Or like, oh, there's nobody on site, let's just walk in and plant.
You fall out of stock into site. You don't fall out of stock into, I don't know, Narnia.
There's a closet back there.
I don't know, dude.
That was so weird.
They also got shredded as they were falling off of that hold. In customs and stock, they just got, one by one, they got eliminated.
Who would have thought that, you know, falling off from customs and stock into the workshop and ventilation would get you killed from, you know, Armory?
We have to give credit to Noble for realizing the opportunity that was there and seizing it. E-Gang left themselves exposed in the middle of their rotation. Noble saw that rotation, clamped down on it, and absolutely destroyed E-Gang when they forced E-Gang out of stock and customs. So, props to Noble. Seriously. Well played, well calculated. Now, they get to attack onto ventilation once more. And on the second attempt of every site thus far, E-Gang has been successful. But we've only seen one example of that, so, you know, it's not exactly a trend.
It's a 100% win rate.
On the second attempt of your site, yeah.
Works 50% of the time, 60% of the time.
Whatever.
Bam.
I don't know. A rush into the bathroom and a rotation left open means Trippin can get the angle onto Crazy, and Breezy will eat quite a lot of damage before getting the follow-up kill onto Ghost. Gas canisters taken care of, and that's decent efficiency from Noble. Most importantly, though, they've done this very quickly. Neptunes has taken out Yeti, but again, a refrag from Breezy left to do damage inside a bathroom. He, though, will be faced with the Legion on a very long angle, rather Castle, my mistake, or Valkyrie, whoever the case. The damage is done, and that player will fall off the angle. The diffuser being planted, ZZ will take down Neptunes and Avian. It's all up to K9, who's trying to push out a passport as the diffuser has been planted. What is going on? Noble left a free range into the site. ZZ gets the final kill, and that's 3-1 Noble. My colleague is stunned in shock right now at the just ridiculous oversights, the huge mistakes being made by Elephant Gang, and I am just as shocked, to be honest.
You know, if I can describe this in one way, this would be my sentence. Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel when it's already been proven that there's much better ways to play this? You're trying to set up your entire defense around one position that's off of the main site. It's off of the workshop, off of the servers, off of ventilation. And the thing is, if that hallway is held, all of your chances of bringing it back are out. There's no way you can bring it back after it, unless you take fights that you can't really calculate and put into your strategy as a viable strat.
Now here's the thing. I mean, the whole hold from eGang was a little bit weird there. Disjointed is the word I would use.
Completely disjointed because there's a hallway in the middle of the two positions.
And Noble, on the other hand, are playing really well. We have to, again, I have to give credit to Noble. I don't want their success to be overshadowed again, because today they are really playing fantastic.
Yeah, this is the Noble that started off Season 8.
Yeah, this is what we expected them to be like throughout the season, and they just weren't. But yeah, a very, very quick take into Bathroom. I love that they drone themselves in there. It wasn't just a ballsy push from the sledge. It wasn't just an efficient push from the sledge. It was a calculated ballsy efficient push. It was your teammates droning for you. You know it's clear. Take it. You have it. And then from there, Breezy does so much damage. As soon as Breezy took care of the anchors, it was easy. Into the site. Plant the diffuser. The roamers were all over the place. ZZ swept them up. It was absolutely insane because nobody's accounting for a late flank behind everybody. ZZ, well-positioned flank, my guy. And Breezy, great job on the refrags. Noble overall, fantastic round, and now Elephant Gang find themselves in a really bad spot as they've lost the first half.
Yeah, I think the Mira was stuck in a position where she was just still setting up on the site, I guess, where they were just completely overtaken. I don't know, it's just...
yeah.
Well, that never happened. So, Breezy on here, droning in from the balcony. He has actually it's a pretty interesting claymore because you're usually angling your gun, if you're trying to go for a run, you're angling all the way to the right or all the way to the left and not really in a position like that, and usually all the way to the right because that's where we're expecting the claymore. But if it's set in the middle, then it'll catch you off guard and you're not expecting to turn around, and that's a pretty smart positioning.
It's really hard to shoot a claymore at that exact angle. It won't often happen. So Noble trying to clear their way into the office. This is a really risky thermite charge from Acid. It's being covered though, and it will be ZZ and Breezy to take down Ghost and Avian. And Breezy with a double kill into the B side, almost a triple, but he loses out to Neptunes, who's trying to hold on for dear life. He will finish off Breezy, but ZZ will finish him off before the gas canister even does its work. K9 now the last defender, retaking from... Why are you at East Stairs, K9? Excuse me, retaking from East Stairs, not an easy thing to manage, especially considering now he's up against his own Mira window. He'll be peeking wide though, looking for the angle. Oh no, Crazy, don't you do it. Don't you go for a sledge kill. You don't deserve that. The Yeti will shut down K9, and Noble will take the round and the half, 4-1.
Wow. Wow. Honestly, the biggest question on my mind right now is where was this Noble throughout the season?
I hear a lot of you guys saying, well, Gassan, Elephant Gang is a Challenger League team, and
they're
I
all
respect
former
that.
pros.
I respect that, but yes, they're all former pros. Elephant Gang is filled with talent. This is not supposed to be as one-sided as it is right now. It's not. It's not supposed to be this way. We have to imagine that eGang are just a little disheartened after their loss against Accelerate.
And you would be so... The thing that I don't understand is that with all the experience on eGang, this should not be happening. They should be the ones that are able to reset and put themselves back into it, because Noble have the only, for example, lands that they played are the DreamHacks in North America. Okay, that's the only experience that they have on land. The others in eGang have played more than that, much more than that.
Season finals, many.
Yes, many season finals between these players in here, many tournaments outside of that as well. and they are well known for being able to stay calm under fire in terms of entire seasons.
Even invitationals for some of these guys.
Yeah.
You know, like
you saw the invitationals one charm on 2 or 3 of these players in here. Avian, as well as K&M, both played at the invitation.
Yeah, so it's a little bit curious that all of this experience that's pooled up is just, I mean, we talked about it. You know, tired after the first match, pressure after the first match, disheartened after the first match. I mean, yeah, sure, all of that. But it's not like this. We were expecting it to be 3 maps. I mean, it could still be, I guess. But
not so many mistakes.
Yeah, it doesn't. It just looks like it's not a great Elephant gang right now, and it's unfortunate to see. We were expecting 2 excellent matches today, but maybe we'll get to that 3rd map and it'll all turn up for E-Gang. It's entirely possible. They just need to win, well, 4 more rounds in a row, and they can make it happen. Crazy, an excellent shot onto Ghost, about as narrow as it gets there. K9 will refrag onto Breezy, but that was beautiful from the Frost.
Yeah, that's a big kill, though, on the smoke and then on the Capitao for E-Gang.
Yeah.
Both very good operators and very important for both of these defenses and attacks.
Yeah, so an exchange of utility, an even one there, I'd say, for both teams. But HP advantage strongly in favor of Elephant Gang, as you have Crazy on 25 thereabouts HP. K9 playing downstairs, just looking for any fights that his opponents are willing to give him. And yeah, there you said it, it's the Invitational 1 professional charm on his
It's the rarest charm in the game.
Well, it's up there. You know, it's like top 3, I'd say. I mean, I have it. I didn't play at the Invitational.
Yeah, but there were less than 500 people compared to some of the Outbreak stuff, for example.
Fair enough. Noble have regained the advantage in this round as they have eliminated Avian, and Elephant Gang now find themselves in a bad spot. Unreinforced armory wall seems to be a trend here in this match. It's definitely Noble's first time doing it, but it's working out so far. Trippin holding onto the flank, sees the mirror, but does not land the shots. Neptunes will land his nade, however, onto Crazy, finally finishing off the very damaged Frost. Yeti has worked his way into CCTV, a very powerful position. The defuse is being planted, though, and Trippin will eliminate Acid, one of the anchors. Yeti gets a flank kill, but will be immediately refragged. And Neptunes, the double kill! Beautiful play from the Buck. And Elephant Gang will take another round. It's not over yet.
Thank God it is not, because that was not the Elephant Gang that we saw in Game 1. It's not the Elephant Gang that we saw throughout CL. And now they're actually, starting to get back into it. That's the reset. I guess the Mahout has been called in. For people that don't know, the Mahout is your traditional Indian elephant tamer.
Learn something new every day.
Yep. So there we go. Our Mahouts of E-Gang. I'm not sure what kind of elephant they are, what kind of, which continent they are from. But North American elephants are fairly rare, and you can, because they don't exist. But there you go. At least in Siege, we have a rare breed, to say the least. We'll see if E-Gang can actually bring this one back, because their attack was very convincing. And I really hope they continue this way. Noble, in the meantime, going to the Valkyrie. For the 6th pick, the Mira also will be in play. I remind you that both the Echo and the Maestro are not available for this matchup, as they are both banned. We'll see Armory and Archives being played yet again, as Noble probably in their minds, they're like, hey, we lost it because we messed up here and there. We'll fix those mistakes and then try to go back to the set. Maybe we can fix it. Maybe we can get it done. We have 2 rounds ahead. We can, we can experiment with things and see what happens. And I'm not sure what's going on here. Oh.
Looks like we have a game crash, so we might see a rehost. Of course, it is in the middle of the prep phase, which means rehosts are acceptable if there is a crash or anything like that.
Yeah, there's some graphical bugs sometimes with your sites that happen, attack or defense. Basically, you could rehost if it's prep phase or all the way through the first 30 seconds of the round, unless there has been a kill. So that's the rule set. There's limited rehosts, though, that are available per game.
Yeah.
But here, I guess we're safe. It's not a North American tradition to go for a rehost after every couple rounds.
Yeah. NA does not typically have that many rehosts. It depends on the situation, though. We've had some moments where it goes for a long time. But actually, today has been really clean. Yeah. Anyway, the match so far, I mean, what can we really say about it other than noble dominance? And we haven't seen E-Gang show up the way we expect them to show up. Definitely a lot of skill on E-Gang that is not being tapped into. And if I have to point a finger at one thing in particular, I'm gonna touch on the emotions. I think it's emotions running high after losing to Accelerate in such a close match, and then you're coming straight into another match and it's just pop, pop, pop. It's got to feel rough, and it is an advantage for Noble. Like the way it's set up, this is definitely an edge, huge edge for Noble in this match. But you talked about it. You could consider that the edge that you merit being the Pro League team defending instead of the Challenger League team attacking.
Exactly, and that's why if you're in Challenger League as well, you're getting the 2 chances.
It's true.
So
they could have won against Accelerate. Man, it's so weird. We have so many situations like this where it's like, Obey could have avoided relegation. They had played better earlier in the season, pardon me. It's the same thing here. Elephant Gang could have won against Accelerate. It could have happened, but they didn't. Opportunities missed.
Yep. Well,
they could still win against Noble, though.
They could. We are still on map 2, so if we go back to our first matchup between Accelerate and E-Gang, it ended up in Oregon being completely dominated by E-Gang, and then a beautiful Coastline.
A very, very strong comeback, too.
Yes.
Because we saw Elephant Gang start Coastline off with 2 rounds in their advantage, and then 3 for Accelerate, and then it was just a back and forth swing until we got to overtime.
And it went to overtime and 7-6 at the end to be an Accelerate victory.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very possible here because we're having a bit of a repeat of exactly that first matchup. So it's possible.
So far, we're having a repeat.
Yes.
I mean, you say that, but I'm gonna be honest. 4 rounds for Noble in the first half. That's hard to come back from.
And they were, in my opinion, given away for free from E-Gang.
A lot of those rounds, yeah.
Their defense, they played it 3 times in a way where first round, there was almost nobody around. And then 2 more rounds were defenses in the workshop and in ventilation, where the defense is set on the other side of the hallway. And you're like, usually you play it top down, not side to side.
I mean, honestly, again, I got to say, E-Gang's defense wasn't that crazy. It was weird, but it wasn't that crazy. For me, it was just Noble playing really well.
They spotted and they're like, oh, they're going to play off it. We'll just bypass it completely and go and plan.
And on attack, every time Noble got into a fight, they were winning it.
Yep.
And if they lost it, there was somebody there to refrag. That's teamwork, man. And E-Gang seems to be lacking that teamwork in this match. They are very much struggling with working with each other. And there's so much information being lost. The last time E-Gang defended ventilation, ZZ and Breezy were the ones to get the kills. Breezy inside a bathroom with the IQ. Refrag. And his position was known, but people kept losing fights to him. The anchors kept losing fights to him. ZZ pushing into sight. He got a kill in server. Okay? He pushed in from the front door, got a kill in server, then he walked out to the hallway, and then there's a castle in the small office inside of Customs with his back turned to ZZ. Free kill right there. All that is required to avoid that is, hey, ZZ pushed in through front door. And then the castle turns his back and addresses ZZ frontally. Now, I'm not saying that Castle's going to win the fight to ZZ, who is popping off. But I am saying it's not going to be a kill from behind.
Yeah.
Talk to your teammates. There seems to be some problems with that right now.
In the meantime, the Mira is reinforcing and setting up a window and shotgunning the side of the wall to defend the entrance from the passport check, and you're like, why? All right, well, we're waiting until ZZ comes back into our lobby. As of course, he did have a crash, so all it takes is a quick restart and invest in SSD. Just please.
No, it happens. All right, it happens. He probably has an SSD.
He has it, but it's just saying to people in general, please, just because you're running on a potato computer doesn't mean you should hold up everybody in your lobby. Thank you very much. This is not to do with Pro League. It's just a pet peeve. SSDs are
like when you're playing ranked and there's like that one guy who
yeah,
takes
and
2
you're like,
minutes to
come
load
on,
in.
man. Like SSDs.
Is it an SSD though? Is it the hard drive? Is it the computer or the rest of the computer? Is it the internet?
You know what I saw? Actually, here's the thing. I saw this meme posted like 2 days ago somewhere on Rainbow Six subreddit. I don't know which one it was. Maybe it was shitty Rainbow Six memes. I don't know.
I don't actually follow that one.
It's actually there's some pretty hilarious stuff on it.
It seems to be just the regular one, but like more of it.
You know the Spider-Man meme, the like super old one was like 2 Spider-Mans that are just looking at one another. Yeah. There's one with like 4 of them, and it's just one with RAM, one with CPU, one with SSD, one pointing at one another.
That's
what
I'm saying. Like
I don't know.
I'd love to have a conversation with like a dev one day. Is like, what is it exactly that's making this guy so slow to load in? Because it happens a lot.
Is it some sort of like server bypass that's happening?
Yeah, and we're not talking about what's going on here. We're just talking about like when you're playing a match in ranked, and there's this one guy who's like spends like with the little spinning dial, and he just spends 2 minutes, and like you're looking at the operators, and you're like,
all right,
I like to play the game now.
And he also posts in chat, like he or she will post in chat, and they're like, real sorry, I don't know what's going on here, guys.
And sometimes they'll say, "Oh, my internet sucks," and then sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, my computer is a potato," and you're just like, "Okay, but what is it though? What is like the determining factor there?" Whatever the case, though, this is a little bit of a pet peeve, and it can kind of suck when you get into that match. Speaking of waiting, we've got one person. We're just waiting on him to reconnect. Should be any minute now.
Yeah, you not only. Yeah, okay, we're going to go through a few of the highlights of our first matchup as we wait for ZZ to reconnect. You obviously have to have your anti-cheats that are on and logged as well, not just to turn on your computer, so that's something to keep in mind for anybody watching. And I have to say, this first map, Michael, it was just such a great hold, and Yeti played out of his mind.
I mean, everybody played out of their mind on Noble on that first half. There's another one of those kills from behind due to poor communication. But still didn't matter. Noble won that round regardless.
It seems like Noble, ever since that first round, were able to just move in and, how do you say, contest the fact that their opponents were not really playing. Oh, this is beautiful. There were so many highlight moment, if you will. There you go. K9 just gets the shot through blue, and you're like, my God, what is going on? This first round, where it seems like everybody was AFK from E-Gang to some extent, the round that they got right after it, and then the fact that Breezy's able to come into the bathroom and just hold off, getting 3 kills pretty much here as he walks. And you mentioned ZZ, there you go, he gets 1, and where's your back? It's on the other end. Haven goes down, and the fact that Breezy, I'll say it one more, the fact that every single time he's able to come in and face check everybody and just take them out, it's just absolutely insane.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. We finally have everybody back, so we should be getting started very soon.
Yep.
We're going to wait till everything is nice and ironed out, although it is right around the corner. The score, of course, is going to be 4-2. Favor of Noble. On the second map, with Noble having won the first of Clubhouse 6-1, their favor. Here, Noble looked to lock it out in a 2-0. Very decisive match thus far.
Yeah, a reminder, the winner of this best of 3, again, best of 3, either retains their spot in Pro League or just makes it into Pro League. E-Gang, remember, have lost their first game against Accelerate. First best of 3 of the evening, or at least the morning for us at this point.
What time is it right now?
It's like 6 a.m.
Jeez, yeah, it's been a long one.
6:32, there you go. So there you go. At least, I have to say, I didn't feel the time passing by because these matches have been so absolutely incredible.
Yeah. Which
is exactly what we were telling you guys. Relegations, hey, they might be relegations, but we're at a completely different levels now. Completely different level now. We're not in the olden days of Siege where relegations was just, okay, it's just more, filler, or there's some bad plays or whatever. There's a lot of excellent things to watch here and learn from, and look at these teams and how they're evolving, because my God.
Yeah, every single player playing today deserves to be in Pro League. And
100%.
5 of them won't be. 10 of them will be. It's that simple. And we have the same thing happening on Thursday with Europe.
Oh my God, and if you thought Latin America was exciting, if you thought NA right now is exciting, oh, baby, do I have a story to tell you.
Dude, Europe is looking super, super exciting. We've got Vitality, Team Empire, and ENCE to play. And, oh, man, people were thinking at the beginning of European Challenger League, ends. And now out of nowhere, Team Empire absolutely dominating the European Challenger League.
Oh, the Mira being popped.
No, that's terrible. We'll talk about that European Challenger League later, but that Mira window being opened up is going to hurt the Noble hold and CCTV so much. That is why you play Twitch, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
K9 has been a Twitch player since the dawn of time, before Twitch was useful, before there was anything to use the drones on, before she
Twitch
had
existed.
two. No, okay, but K9's been playing for a long time. Avian entry frag will take out Crazy, and there goes ZZ. A beautiful take into CCTV for Elephant Gang. This break seems to have refreshed and renewed Elephant Gang, and they are coming in strong.
Yeah, Trunks are definitely laying into Noble here. 2 players lost early on, and 2 impact players. Will the Mira losing her window meant that she couldn't rotate away, and it was right before the start of the actual attack phase. And at that point, eGang immediately dove on CCTV and were able to get 2 kills off of it. Acid now tagged very low on health. This is not a good spot for Noble and eGang. You mentioned it. They're rejuvenated, and they have control of everything. They have post-plant positions with halls and CCTV. They have a hold in the hallway. They know where their opponents are, but Yeti is scraping up. And this is a reminder of what eGang were doing when they were on the defense, where K9 was the last man alive on the east stairs. Avian will go in for the plant. Breezy a bit too slow here on the shotgun, and he'll try to go for the down on the opposite end, but no, the diffuser is set. K9 gets 1 on the rotate. The Valkyrie lost. Breezy will connect with the M870. And it's Strippin eliminated. 4v2 though, and Breezy hits it, but grenade onto Acid. See you later, Tomasz Adamczyk, and it's Neptune's rotating in on the buck, playing in the archives, finds Breezy, takes him out, and that is the eGang that we've been missing.
So it seems to be thus far a predominantly attacker-sided map. We've only seen 1 successful defense thus far. So that could be just the way of this map, and if it continues like that, Elephant Gang should be able to at least push us to overtime, if nothing else. If Elephant Gang won 1 defense, then Noble can win 1 defense, put it on match point, and we could go to OT, then maybe go to the 3rd map. That would be pretty exciting. Like you said, it's been a long day today. Lots of gameplay, but these matches have just been action-packed and super exciting, and I don't want it to end, man. I'd like to go to map number 3. I'd like for both of these teams to play in Pro League, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So at least let us go to the very last possible moment to determine which one it is going to be going to Pro League.
Yeah, some would use the analogy of you can't always have your cake and eat it, and in my mind, why would you have a cake and not eat it? So there you go. Give us at least more rounds.
I'm sure there's some kind of logical thing behind that one, but I actually don't know what
it doesn't make any sense.
There's got to be something though. These things don't come out of nowhere. Come on, man. Give it benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, okay.
10 seconds remaining.
Anyway,
Cake aside, cake or death, right? That's the.
There is no cake. All right, we're playing Siege. This is Siege right now. All right, this is Siege Pro League.
The big cake here is Pro League. Will you take a bite out of it, or will you stay back with only a bit of milk and cookies in Challenger League? Well, Trippin in the meantime will try to enter in, at least on the pedestrian customs entry, by the ventilation as well. So far, pretty calm for eGang. They need 1 round to tie it up here against Noble, and eGang, I have to say, they looked very dominant in the previous round, just able to walk in and bash Noble across the face.
Yeah, they definitely look very strong. Again, the attack on border thus far seems to be the site to be on. It's too bad you can't attack the entire match. It's not possible though, and because there was 1 successful defense for eGang when they were on the defensive half, they are in a better position than they, well, would be otherwise. They don't have to force for OT just yet, though they are very close to that situation. eGang going to start opening up the wall into Armory, but it's a ventilation defense, so this is just the first of very many steps that are required to attack onto the bottom floor utilizing the top floor. That wall open, though. They are going to be able to pressure the Armory roamers. And they're starting to drone out, looking for information, just trying to figure out what's going on here. K9 has found himself in a very powerful position inside of Customs. He can cut off a lot of rotation down there, possibly get some flanks off.
And Yeti moving up very close in the main hallway to spot anybody. Of course, playing the dock again. We've seen the amount of damage that he couldn't do on this operator. Just the ACOGs.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Comes in right behind, and if he can go for the spray, there you go. He'll connect. That's tripping down. But Reezy will be the one refrag, and that's a pretty big pick. The smoke being lost there to the Ash. I'll take that any day if I'm eGang.
Yeah, definitely an advantageous trade for the attack. But you can see Yeti's still in a very powerful position. He's still in CCTV. He can still do damage from here. And I believe Crazy is also just by half wall in Armory. Neptune's, though, a nade onto Acid. Yeti disoriented by the lifeline and will try to rotate but be caught in the middle of that rotation. Ghost with some great utility use there and sees the second opponent upstairs, will down him as well. Crazy on the floor. It's all up to ZZ, who gets one on the floor. That's Neptune's and finishes him off, but K9 there to get the final kill. Excellent clear there for Elephant Gang, and we go to 4-4.
Seems like both teams are, as you mentioned, very comfortable on the attack. But the defenses have been very, how do you say, aggressively inclined. It's just, okay, we want to find those frags. And unfortunately, they've been opening up the site way too much. You saw there's only the Habana there, so an entry into the workshop would be more complicated with only one set of Exkyros left there at the end.
You know, I don't mind the aggressiveness of the defense itself. What I do think is the problem is that it's individualized.
Yes, 100%.
It's, you know, like, for example, there at the end, we saw, at the end of that last round, we saw Yeti and Crazy, okay? They were in a position where they could have helped each other, but they didn't. You had Yeti and CCTV, Crazy by the half wall, and just one little old player, Ghost, trying to clear it out. And he's got the perfect operator to do that. You know, perfect operator for 1 versus 2. But in any 1 versus 2, if you challenge as a team, as a unit, you're going to win that. So if we had seen Crazy support Yeti, Yeti may have still died, but Crazy would have gotten the refrag. Problem is, in every scenario, that's just one example, in every scenario that has been, you know, popping up for defense thus far in this map, that could have been a thing. The defenders choose to just isolate themselves and play for their own lives. And that to me is what's costing them. If you're going to get aggressive, you have to play for refrags. If you're not going to be able to do that, then instead just play the site, man. And I don't think playing the site is the right call. I think just working with your teammates is the right call.
Yep.
But it's not been happening for the defense thus far.
You can get aggressive, but just work with your teammates. You can play on site, but work with your teammates. Again, it's a team game. Don't just play off of your own picks. We say this for the attackers. Don't be droning yourself in and then trying to follow up with a kill on your own. Have a teammate do that for you, so you can focus on your task. And same thing for defense.
And maybe look at that situation with Yeti and Crazy and think to yourself, yeah, Crazy's just trying to keep control. He's trying to be smart. But then why is he peeking after his teammate dies? Why not peek when his teammate's in a fight and then peek after he dies? You know, if you're going to make a decision to not support your teammate, then commit to it then. You know, if you're trying to be conservative, I understand.
Oh no.
Damage is done, man.
Oh no.
Damage is done. It doesn't matter. At least he didn't get the team kill. Still a gun in hand. Avian will be able to influence the round, but that was unfortunate for Elephant Gang. That's the miscommunication we've been talking about for eGang so far today. They seem to really be struggling with talking with each other. I have CCTV control. Means that doesn't happen.
There's 2 players in CCTV on top of that, not just the Habana.
You know, you could say what you want about the game sense, but the communication, I think, is the ultimate issue.
All right, Trippin watching here as Ghost will get one on to Yeti. Just peeking in and finding an easy kill on the Jaeger, but still smoke of Reezy's alive. ZZ as well, taking a bit of damage from Ghost. You see the Exkyros opening things up from the side as Neptune's yet again. He has been on fire with the grenades of this matchup. Crazy will get taken down. The wall now has been opened up from the desk area. Breezy keeps firing, and he finds the quick peek headshot. But now you have to worry about the flank. There's a extra player alive here for Elephant Gang. And can they find the buck from below? Neptunes is making a lot of noise, and ZZ can definitely hear him. Gas canister thrown in. It seems like the attack has completely changed sides, and they will shift to the opposite end to attack from the archive side. Trippin holding off the hallway. A great spot to be in. And right now, it's just nobody peeking from Noble. They want to keep this position to their side. Trippin walking in on the Ash yet again as ZZ holds from behind the A bomb site. And they're just spotting in, making sure that they can move in for the plant, and Avian spots it, and he evades the smoke. K9 will get one. Neptunes is holding off the rotation as Breezy will walk into him. He'll take him down. 2 kills in a row here for Breezy as he'll be the last one alive. ZZ's on the floor and going for the rotate. Goes in for the fire on the Ash. Shotgun in hand. He'll land one. He'll take him out, but no! K9 right in front lands the headshot of the FAMAS, and Breezy is down on the floor and taken out. Unfortunate there, as he went for the diffuser plant, and the diffuser was still not planted. It could have changed everything if, you know, maybe the smoke had turned around at the last second after getting the kill on the Ash instead of diving into the site. Again, we always say this, hindsight 2020, but
I mean, it's the same thing with ZZ too. The Valkyrie, he was attempting to push up to the wall of the site, exposing his entire body to his opponents, not accomplishing anything because he's trying to deny the diffuse plant. Information would have been so important there if there were a Valkyrie cam inside of the archives. No matter how you look at it, though, getting a little bit ahead of themselves, Noble will lose that round. Breezy has come so close to clutching a few times already this match, but he just hasn't been able to make it happen. And now match point for Elephant Gang.
All right, Pulse will be played here. The 6th pick for Crazy, as this might be the guarantee for that 3rd map that I've been looking for. Or maybe it'll be overtime that will take us to a Noble victory, or to a 3rd map, a repeat of our first matchup of the night. My God, Michael, this is really turning into the proverbial barn burner.
I am definitely seeing a map number 3 in our future. As much as Noble is trying to prevent it, Elephant Gang do not want to let go of their hopes and dreams, and they definitely seem like the sort of team where if they can get their momentum, then it can just spiral out of control for their opponents. We'll see. So far, what we have seen on Border is that the defense do not win very many rounds. That is just about the only clear thing. So it's going to have to be the very first successful defense for Noble if they want to get this map. And even after that, they're going to have to win in overtime. Tricky thing is, overtime being a coin flip, whoever gets defense first, probably going to lose.
Yeah, actually, yes.
So this could all come down to the coin flip if Noble can win their first defense.
Yep, and you know, we saw a similar thing from their opponents where E-Gang were able to win one of those defenses as well. So maybe that'll be a repeat, a pattern of sorts. In the meantime, you see Crazy on the Pulse playing from below in the ventilation and servers. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's just the entire matchup has had such a fast pace that it's sometimes difficult to follow the action as it evolves in front of us. And Ghost just locking in through the desk of the armory and just holding back his opponents there, as you see Acid and Breezy stacking up, and even Yeti joining the fray.
Yeah, so they're just waiting to deny the push in through the A wall. There's no serious pushing power here for the attack. They've got a lot of frag power, but they don't have a Ying, you know. It's an option that's available, but they haven't decided to bring it. They are going to be using Buck, though, very wisely to down Yeti. Luckily for Yeti, I believe he picked himself up, as he is a doc. He will die to Trippin attempting to get away from half wall, so it's all for naught in the end. But yeah, he did manage to delay, I suppose, for a few seconds. Surprising that he decided to play half wall, considering Elephant Gang has routinely been disabling it from below using the Buck. If you're going to play it, you should probably have someone downstairs to try and fight the Buck.
Yeah, well, Yeti is indeed a doll. So there you go. Oh, the peak Breezy right into Avian sights as Neptunes will get one more. Avian will go for the doorway hold and we'll go for the diffuser. And just sticks it. There you go. C4 is too late. K9's gotten the kill on Azizi, and that's the end of it. Ladies and gentlemen, map 3 is a treat now that we'll get to have as E-Gang will tie things up 1-1. And all of this off of that one defensive round.
Yeah, that's it. There was, and that was the only defensive round for the whole map that was successful. Very impressive for E-Gang. Props to them. Surprise, though, for me. You know, we saw it go 4-1 in the first half off of a 6-1 on the first map. You figure, oh, this is clear cut. This is simple. You know, Noble's got it. It's done. And then, oh, look at that. 5 rounds in a row for E-Gang.
We saw the same, well, almost the same thing, but, you know, repeat of what we had in match number 1. It didn't go to overtime here like it did in the first matchup, but it's a similar storyline, to say the least, as now we get ready for map number 3.
Coastline.
Coastline. So this is a map that obviously was played before between Accelerate and E-Gang.
And it went to 7-6. So if Noble or any amount of proficient on Coastline, then it'll probably go to 7-6. But before we get to that, we have a break.
Yep.
We'll see you guys shortly.
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to North America Relegations here for Season 8. Our last play day for NA. I'm host Medic Finch. This is Michael Kickstar Stockley.
Hello.
And we are ready for our third and final map of the night. This is the last map we'll have for North America in the entirety of Season 8. And we'll dive straight into it. Coastline between Elephant Gang and Noble. I'll remind you what happened previously. So, E-Gang, or Elephant Gang, played their first match of the day. It was a best of 3, right? They lost that matchup, which would have given them direct access to Pro League. They lost it against Accelerate, who, congratulations, are now in Pro League. That was a 2-1. 2 maps that were played on it. Coastline was one of them, which is now we're getting into. E-Gang play Noble. First map, walkover for Noble. Second map, the one defense round that E-Gang were able to grab on Border was the one that won them the game, 6-4.
It was also the only defensive round.
100%. And 5 rounds that they won in a row. And then we head to Coastline, which is a map, as mentioned, was already played by E-Gang, which Noble are pretty strong on. So can you tell us why this is a good map for Noble here?
Yeah, they've been playing this map quite a lot. Not just just everywhere. Noble play. They're one of the teams that plays Coastline the most in North America, and they're going to have a pretty good position here right now. It was one of the few maps that they managed to win on in the regular season against SK of all teams.
They tied Obey on it as well.
They tied SSG on it. You know, this is a really good map for Noble for sure. But it's also a good map for Elephant Gang, as we've seen before. Now, in case you were wondering, we just talked over the operator ban phase, but you haven't missed anything. It was the same exact operator ban phase that we've seen for the last 2 maps. Go figure. So, Kitchen first defense here for Noble, and not a huge surprise. This has definitely been their favorite site historically, and seeing it be their favorite, well, their go-to site to begin with. Does not surprise. Yeah, no.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
It's normal.
We were talking about this in our first match, of course, because we did see Coastline. The question was, we're not seeing a lot of Penthouse. How come both teams are going for the site nowadays with the strategies not really being built around it, especially the fact that Mir. What did he just do? Did he just destroy the barricade and then put the barricade?
It must have been accidentally broken at some point, or maybe he broke like a part of it to throw a camera through, and then wanted to break the whole thing. No, he couldn't throw it because the preparation phase.
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
He accidentally broke a part of it, and he wanted to be fully reinforced. There you go.
There you go. That aside, we'll see how this pans out, because Noble are sitting downstairs in the kitchen, but still, for kitchen, you need control of the top floor, and E-Gang bringing the Maverick might not have that big an effect on this site specifically, but I wonder if the Zofia is bringing breaching charges, or this just the Claymore, because they're going to rely on both the Buck and the Ash for that soft destruction, taking top floor.
You don't have to hold the top for the whole round as defense. You have to at least delay control of the top floor for the attackers. That's the big thing. If you're falling off the top floor and there's more than a minute in the round, it's a problem. That means the attackers are going to use it against you. So definitely holding it for as long as possible is big. But it looks like Elephant Gang are actually going to be attacking primarily from the Sunrise Bar, which, while it is exposed to the top floor, it definitely is, I'd say, one of the more detached attacks in terms of, hey, how much do we need to exert pressure upstairs?
Well, Trippin is moving up to the pool balcony. I'm not sure if they have already droned out the VIP, but it'll definitely be the Ash here to get that sort of info. There you go, walks right in. Neptunes is already in the billions room and has some sort of hold on the hallway. He's going to check the baggage area, nobody in there, and he's going to set up a drone for later rotation holds, just in case there's a flank. And he walks into VIP. So at least they have control of that. The Ashe is very close by as well. And K9 just taking control of the big window. It's a very difficult position for the defenders to fight against.
Acid's gonna get the very first kill of the map, over by the main lobby. Matt's Maverick gone. Neptune spraying into Penthouse means that he's not aware it's clear, which means that nobody's droned it out, which means loss of information and inefficiency on the attack, which is going to hurt Elephant Gang in the long run when they eventually go for that site push. Now, the really dangerous thing is that it doesn't seem like Elephant Gang are clearly set up to actually attack anywhere in particular. And they're losing a lot of manpower as they've just lost Ghost to Crazy. Now, the gas canisters are being put out to deny the push in through the kitchen window. It seems to be a Sunrise bar push, but there's not a whole lot of real actual pressure being applied by the attackers, despite all this vertical control. As I say that, Neptunes will take down Breezy, but immediately refragged by Yeti, who peeks into the very same hole. A ballsy play by Yeti, but it worked out. Acid not paying attention to the main lobby stairs and will die to Trippin. But it's all up to Trippin as Yeti gets another kill through the holes in the floor. Ash now, a good operator to clutch, but he's going to... Oh, wow, he does check for ZZ. Impressive game sense there for Trippin. And as he pushes into the site, he's pressured for time, and he cannot pick up the diffuser. Yeti will take him down. Excellent round for the Legion, and Noble take the first on this third map.
It's an efficient round. Noble here had control of the top floor for quite a substantial amount of time. You were mentioning that when we were talking about
good delay
earlier on. Yeah, there you go. They were able to delay. All the frags, or the one frag that was taken up early on by Elephant Gang was immediately refragged by the Legion. So, you know, Yeti playing very well. They're able to use those top-down positions to his advantage as well, and not just leaving them to the buck on the top floor, as again, I quote, those holes work both ways. So the Ashe able to walk into the lobby. At that point, there's so many angles that you're watching. You're expecting the push to come in from the center open area, or to come in from the bar. Miscommunication, I guess, or maybe no information on the Ashe. Not a problem. You get a kill, but there's two players still on the site, and it's an easy ult at the end of it. So Noble will take the first round very efficiently, very effectively. This time, they'll head upstairs. Of course, you win the site, you can't play it again. And now they're going to go to Hookah and Aquarium. So I'll set up by the pool table. They'll have all the murder holes that are set up. And you know why? Because they have a pulse. They also have 3 sets of C4s to play with. Not only is it the pulse that's bringing it, but also you have Yeti with a nitro cell, got the Valkyrie as well. So all 3 will combine very, very well here for Noble playing from below, and they can have the ACOG of the dock to hold up from the top stairs, close up to the bar in Aquarium by the pool table, billiards, and well, you have the smoke as well. That's probably going to be playing in Hookah. So all of that together works very well. The Maverick's a good operator. I don't know though if I would bring him here over a Habana, because that is not a banned operator.
Yeah, definitely an interesting choice for E-Gang. Light on the hard destruction. You know, Maverick is a hard destructor, but
he opens more opportunities than actual walls.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. ZZ playing by Sunrise will be attempting to delay any attacking push, well, into Sunrise, go figure. It's a very powerful position to play, the actual Sunrise bar itself, and it's hard for an attacker to clear you out unless they are making a concerted effort, which it does not appear to be the focus of E-Gang. Or at least they want this control, but they don't seem to be using any of the tools at their disposal. Very slow push into that Sunrise bar. ZZ, as soon as being droned out, will fall back. It's the right call, I'd say, as it will still, you know, his position will, oh no, waste so much utility from E-Gang. 2 grenades and at least 1 use of the lifeline. Gone in the blink of an eye. Avian will take down Acid. Crazy trying to fight the push into Sunrise bar through the wall. Actually narrowly missed some shots onto Ghost there. That's he is distracting the attackers, if nothing else. Using his heartbeat detector, he's going to be able to acquire a much more precise location of his opponents. The Valkyrie cameras are inside of Sunrise bar, as you can see, and ZZ is using that to gather information for his team. The push coming over to Sunrise Bar has been substantial in terms of manpower, but really just kind of a dance here for the attack. Crazy will eat a lifeline, but will also be able to use his C4 to get a kill onto Neptunes. Great destruction there. Ghost will take down Crazy in response, though. The diffuser coming into Hookah all the while. The attacker's trying to clear out below the site, but Breezy, the anchor inside, will hold fast. ZZ, if he still has C4 in hand, will be able to deny the plant from below, but now, as Breezy goes down, is the last possible hope for the defense. C4 well placed, will take out Ghost. Only 20 seconds left, but it's still a 2 versus 1 in the attacker's favor. They've got just enough time to get that diffuser and plant it. Peek from the Valkyrie, though, will die to K9. That is an interesting choice for K9 to peek it, though. He had the diffuser. No, correction. He had the Claymore, and he was covering for the diffuse plant. Great job to K9 there. Forgive me for even questioning him. Elephant Gang take the first round on Coastline.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Forgive me, Alexandre, for I have sinned.
Yeah, I made the mistake of assuming that K9 picked up the diffuser, was attempting to plant.
We saw the animation.
Yeah, you see the Claymore animation, you're like, oh, that's a diffuser animation, and why is he getting off the diffuser? But no, I was mistaken. Either way, a curious round there. Most of the action was downstairs, but it eventually did go upstairs once Elephant Gang realized, hey, half of the defense is downstairs. We could just plant. And they tried. They failed initially, but they won in the manpower, and that's what's important.
Similar to what Noble were doing when we were still on map 2 on Border. It's just similar adaptations, and this shows the level of play that we're looking at here, where both teams are able to drone, get information, and then play off of it. Not just have a strategy and try to execute it no matter what. Also being able to be flexible, and that's really what separates the top teams from others. How flexible are you, not only in operator picks, but sites and how you play those sites and your strategies, and how can you re-strategize on the fly, as time and time again teams like Rogue, EG, SK, G2, they have shown they're able to do very effectively in any situation, really. But we'll go down to a bar defense, as you see ZZ setting up his black eyes on the Valkyrie. And he holds in from the security room. A very powerful position. Of course, there's hallway, there's a bit of a Z block there that you have to hold and have to run in like a speed demon to deal with anybody playing at the end of it. And there you go. Neptunes will get a spot on the Valkyrie in the back, but can he do much against it? Not really. Valkyrie should be playing close angle, and it's a complicated spot to deal with unless you're going in for a pinch, and even then. So ZZ will walk back into the bathroom and just stick it through here, as the kitchen will be his position. We always talked about this, where with every site that you're playing... Oh, man, what an angle. Okay. So with every site that you play, there's always that peel-off effect, where you have multiple layers of defense, where bit by bit you shave time off of the attackers, and you're able to fall back into another defensive position and just hold fast time and time again until time draws near, and then you'll have to face off in the fight. There you go. Trippin will get the first kill, and he takes down the smoke. Again, huge pick here from E-Gang.
Yeah, taking out the smoke means that the plant behind Blue Bar, which is inevitable, will be so much easier. Though the roamers by the main lobby are going to complicate things, because as you can see, the wall next to the Blue Bar is nice and open, which means that the diffuse plant can be denied. To your left there, you can see those holes from the main lobby, which is what Noble is counting on. They still have the C4 from Yeti, and Acid, of course, has been landing his shots, so that is something to account for. But oh no, ZZ attempts a flank and is thwarted. Because of his death, there will be no denial from that open area or main lobby. Crazy's going to have to rotate into that if that's something that Noble wants to use moving forward. C4 still in hand, though, and no! Trippin again shows up to deny the denial of the defuse plant, and it's an absolute stomp from the E-Gang. Noble falls 1 by 1 by 1, and 2-1 now in E-Gang's favor.
That was very effective, honestly. Obviously, a lot of the effort and the praise should be put on Trippin in that round.
Trippin, yeah.
Just walks around, holds angles, plays against his opponents, and just challenges them and
Denies
wins
the flank, denies the C4, which would be the way that the defense would deny the defusal plan. I mean, he did everything.
It's just excellent, I have to say. That's just how you should be playing an Ashe, I guess. Not only because there's two ways a lot of people will see it. Either, oh, you have to just run around and get kills, or some people what they'll do is just hold an angle the entire round, and you're like, that's not how you should be doing it. And
Yeah.
it should be reactive.
I mean,
to what's
yeah,
going on.
it definitely. I think the role of an Ashe is a bit fluid, right? It's whatever your team needs at the moment. Trippin was a flank hold there. He was an entry frag there. He was all the things. He was a plant cover there, and that's about as good as it can get. And the reason that Ashe is so much more dynamic than some other operators is that, she's say what you will, she's the fastest in terms of everyone's mind's eye. She's the fastest 3-speed, right? There's no speed difference, to clarify that statement. But, that doesn't stop people from imagining she's quicker. Speaking of quicker, Neptune's going to be rushing into the site here, and will try to deny the, push in through the smoke that's been established. The diffuser being implanted by the Maverick of Avian. Neptune's nade will find Yeti. Ghost also takes out Acid with a beautiful one-tap in the main lobby. Crazy will be down. ZZ now, the last defender, and he has to retake in a post-plant. It's not going to happen. Ghost shuts him down. What is going on, E-Gang? A rush in through delivery, and now a 3-1 lead.
Not just a rush into delivery, but also not neglecting the fact that you have to hold post-plant positions. So they already had Ghost that's contesting against the lobby, and in the instant that diffuser was set, he holds the angle for potential rotations from security. Beautiful play. Exactly how you should be doing it. And where were E-Gang when they played this against Accelerate?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean,
Penthouse, maybe, was that the thing that they weren't expecting?
I'm not sure what it is, but E-Gang definitely look a lot stronger here in this second map. I mean, you could say they're getting their second wind, but the first time around, they didn't look as powerful as they're looking right now. This is the crazy thing, man. We first map 6-1.
Like, hey, it's done. It's over.
It's over.
Go home.
We're moving on. And then second map, they get a reverse sweep after going down 4-1. They end it 6-4 in their favor. So here we are on map 3, and now they're up 3 rounds to Nobles 1. This is crazy. It's somewhat similar to the first matchup, where we saw Elephant Gang, and the first map 6-1. And then the second map went to Accelerate 7-6. So that's the big difference. In the second map, we had overtime for the first match. And now if the trend continues, then we're going to see this match end 6-3 in Elephant Gang's favor, if the trend continues. Because Accelerate won the final map of their series against Elephant earlier, 6-3 on Clubhouse. So I mean, who knows? It's possible.
At this point, yes, literally anything is. It's
we saw a reflected scoreline on the first map of both series, so.
Well, it's a similar situation that E-Gang were in when they were playing on this map against their opponents of Accelerate, and here they're able to do the same, dish out the same revenge, I guess. The revenge tour is still alive. Is that a thing still?
I suppose, but it's not as applicable as England's revenge, in my opinion.
England's revenge is definitely the concert that everybody was looking forward to.
So this half, I'm gonna predict this. This half should end 3-2 if we're going by the previous Coastline standards. So Noble should take this round, and then the next half should put us into overtime. And then it should go all the way to the 13th round.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I would love for that to happen. I'll be completely honest with you. And so far, the match has been fairly back and forth, and I'd be completely down for it. Here, Trippin on the Ashe again, looking for potential entry, and he'll fire off his Viper Strike. Not sure where he's hit.
I think he's trying to get an angle from above into the site down. but I'm not entirely sure. Crazy has a very safe angle he can play above the blue bar. Love this spot behind that little mini bar above. And yeah, you can see the Ash charge being used to cut off rotation from the soft wall by Sandwich, where Acid is playing right now.
So this possibly is a point where Trippin is like, you know what, I'm not even going to try to push you. I'm just going to use this angle to my advantage in the future. So
seems like he's determined that there is a Jaeger playing by the minibar in Billiards, but that Jaeger has fallen back after the Ash charge hit the wall adjacent. Mute still playing in the hallway / hookah, just spraying, looking for Trippin, seeing if he can get that free kill. Trippin, of course, one of the top performers on Elephant Gang right now, and if you could get him off the board, that would be substantial for Noble. But he is not going to be felled by some random shots through the floor or the wall just yet. Now, all the while, the attack lining up for a push onto the site. The smokes are delaying this somewhat, but the grenades can reach through those smokes. Unfortunately for Neptunes, neither will land. Ghost will get the first kill onto Breezy, though Yeti will refrag. Ghost goes down. Crazy also eliminates K9, and Yeti onto Avian means that this is going to be a really hard recovery, but Trippin is still here, and he is still fragging. He will take out Yeti, but immediately taken down by Acid, and it's not going to be enough for Neptunes to take down ZZ. Crazy ends things out. Noble wins the round, and look at that, 3-2. Surprise, surprise.
Well, on point tonight, Mr. Michael.
Well, I mean, okay, so now what needs to happen is we need to go 5-5 in the second half.
Yep.
And then overtime, and then 7-6.
Yeah, I hope hospital not too far away from us, because we might need some medication for a heart attack if this actually goes the distance.
I don't know about that, but
it's getting pretty close, I have to say.
It's definitely going to be a close match. I mean, it's already been a close match. I don't know. We don't need to. Hookah Billiards going to be the first defense here for Elephant Gang. And they did win the first half, though not as much as I think they should have. They had a couple opportunities missed there, of course, on the 2 rounds that they lost, the kitchen defense and 2-bar defense from Noble. They do seem a lot more in shape, though, so far. That last round, Noble's attack, or rather, Noble's defense, is pretty stalwart. Elephant Gang's attack was all over the place. Trippin was detached from his team, and in the past it's worked out for him. But the reason it's worked out for Trippin in the past is because his team would be alive, he would get 2 kills, and yeah, sure, he would die, but his team would still be there to recover. And they would be working together to more of an extent than what we saw in that previous round.
5 seconds to insertion.
All right, we continue on in here as K9 is trying to set up his mirror window, and it's a pretty standard one. Some people will go for more of a crouch level mirror window here, but you know, both work out pretty well.
It's up to you, I suppose.
It really is personal preference at that point. You know, he'll have a look all the way down through, and he'll set up the second one as well. This is the crouch level, so it's more difficult to shoot if somebody wants to destroy the castle barricade and look on down. Some teams, we saw this with both Rogue and SK, but specifically SK, where the Zofia will pop the castle barricade, exactly what Crazy is doing here. And you can just look on down. Sometimes you'll even bring DMR to play with, usually a Blackbeard that can just hang out here and have a long angle to play with.
Crazy will lose his drone as soon as he throws it in the window there. It's quick reactions from Elephant Gang to shut that down. Noble seemingly aware that Aquarium is cleared out. They might go for a clear out there and maybe a push into sight. Ghost getting a little too aggressive. Will die to Crazy. An ill-advised peek there. Crazy now going to be able to re-establish himself on this window and continue to apply pressure to the mirror window. But oh no, K9, long angle from the minibar inside of Billiards will win that fight. That's a really important one to win as well from a very long range with very low damage SMG. Impressively done from K9. Yeti, the grenade onto Avian, well placed indeed. And the advantage still in Noble's favor, but just barely. Yeti playing downstairs is the perfect operator to open up from above, but Neptune seemingly aware of this. The Dokabi phone call going to keep Yeti on his toes, though.
Neptune's still holding off in the kitchen. He'll fall back and try to play from the lobby and potentially go back up to rejoin his squad mates as Trippin is holding in still behind the mirror window. Neptune's now walking in and will impact through and should have a clear angle here on the Buck as he sprays, but the T5.
Oh no.
Not enough damage, and Noble scrape away with a ton of health still left on the Buck. Gas canister thrown in as Acid will try to stick.
He might get it.
He should be able to hit this one here, and there you go. The diffuser is set for Noble. And it's 3 players alive for E-Gang versus the 4. Noble putting themselves in a better post-plant position. Shotgun will connect on to 1, but that's the IQ to get the second. IQ still alive in the back as K9 looking for more kills, but from the back, Yeti is ready for him, and ZZ holding off on the main window will get 1 more in the Capitao, and that is Noble now. Closing this in closer and closer to that 5-point. Now they're at the 4. We head at the 3-3, and we head to round number 7 on a tie. How far will this go?
Well, like I said, 7-6, Gassan.
Well, you have been right so far, so
who knows? We'll
who
see.
might judge?
That last round, let's pick it apart. So Noble, they started things off attempting to attack from below primarily. And they droned out Aquarium. To me, it looked like they made a gut decision. Aquarium's clear. It's a castle barricade in our way. All we need to do is open that up, and then we have clear access to the site. They said, hey, let's just go for it. And they had managed to get some picks at that point. But once the call came in for Aquarium, they shifted. They pushed into Aquarium, clearly taking it with ease. And then it's all up to the Capitao to lay down some smokes and just plant the diffuser. Or rather, I believe it was the Dokkaebi, correction, to lay down the smokes and plant the diffuser. But it didn't really feel at any point like Elephant Gang had anything to stop that with. They did manage to get some gas canisters in good places, but, you know, too late in the middle of that diffuse plant. And the diffuse plant was stuck. It happened in the post plant. Noble just locked it out. It was done.
Yep. The instant they saw the opening to go for the plant, they went for it. And they held the big window, they held the flank, and they had the manpower advantage.
To me, the real question is, why the heck is Elephant Gang not defending Aquarium? Like, you don't have to play in Aquarium. I'm not saying playing. That's a dangerous thing to do. But why? Where's the focus, man? It seemed like they were so distracted with the people repelling, with everybody over by the hookah side, that they could not deny the push in from Aquarium. It was a little bit odd. It just felt too easy for Noble to make that push happen.
You know, Crazy will set up his Claymore to hold off late round rotations. And we've seen this in the past really being detrimental, where a lot of times a Valkyrie will be playing on the inside of the security room and then move in from the back and really able to claim kills that she shouldn't have gone. And especially in here, the mirror window will get spotted and taken out. And I wonder if that was a hit from above or from the side. C4 will be thrown in, and Noble immediately going for the plant. They're already holding off at the top side, but Neptunes will get one on Breezy. DMR will find one as Acid can't get the second. The Vector, too strong, too fast. Crazy with one more on the Ghost. It's an equal game, 3v3. Avian, Neptunes, and K9 trying to find better positions as they walk into the hallway as well. Crazy in the 1v1 fight up close. They go in, they all push towards him. He's got the pistol out, but Avian is ready, 2v2 here. But Yeti is up top. Grenade's gonna get tossed right onto the diffuser. He's ready for this here. Nobody will connect, and he's just watching it from above. They have to take the fight. ZZ. Oh no, Yeti is down. Avian has got it, but the mirror is going in for the diffuser. They jump out, and ZZ will clutch it. K9 going down, and Noble are still in this. They go up 4-3. My God.
Absolutely insane clutch there from Noble. For a moment, I thought it was going to be an insane clutch from Elephant Gang. So back and forth that round. It could have gone either way. And, dude, Elephant narrowly brought that back. Yeti was the linchpin playing from above, and he was taken down.
He was ready.
He was ready. How did he die? That blows my mind. And despite that, still, ZZ manages to clutch it out. So impressive for Noble. Kitchen, again, for Elephant Gang, but it's going to be hard to recover from that round.
Once they saw that they still had the time, E-Gang at least rotated. The Mira was still left on the site. They rotated the Castle of Avian to the top floor, and once the focus had already shifted onto the diffuser, it was the Buck that was focused on it. The Castle came in, found the angle, took him out as he was exposed, watching from the main window of VIP, was taken out, went out and vaulted, and tried to play against opponent, and then the 1v1 fight. And even with barely any bullets left, I mean, you saw the Capitao holding in from the outside by the pool, taking down the Mira, switches to the Beretta, and then able to get the shots on the Castle. Absolutely insane plays there.
I want to take a wider step back here. We've only seen 2 attacking rounds thus far from Noble on this map, and they've been successful in both of those rounds. And one thing that really has stood out to me is the distinct focus on objective play for Noble. We saw the same thing, actually, from Elephant Gang. They put a lot of emphasis on their objective focus play on attack. I mean, I remember, like, for example, the kitchen rush. You know, they went for that diffuser plant immediately. Go, go, go.
Yep.
And it's definitely a trait that both teams have been sharing. And every time we see the attacking team get that diffuser down, which is a big part of this match so far, they tend to win the round. It's not a sure thing, of course, but it's definitely I think something that both teams have caught on to is like, hey, if we get the diffuser down. And I know that, okay, I hear you guys, duh, Kickstar, that obviously if you get the diffuser down, you're better inclined to win the round. But we've seen whole matches, we've seen Pro League days go by where there's like 3 or 4 diffuser plants.
And they're all Goga. And
where there's 3 or 4 diffuser plants. And we we'll often see it not even affect the match that much. So, seeing this heavily objective focused play, really, I love seeing it from both teams. It's great to have.
The whole strategy is built around go for the objective first and then hold.
And here we have, speaking of that, Noble trying to smoke off and go for a plant. But the gas canisters from Elephant Gang will deny it. And you could see Trippin's not taking any chances this time. He's like, no, you are not getting in under cover of smoke. He laid down all 3 gas canisters there. And the C4 from K9 is wasted. Breezy with the peek will land one, but Trippin refrags immediately. The diffuser is being planted amidst the smoke, and there's no more gas canisters nor C4 to deny it. Noble manages to get another one down. Elephant Gang have 4 alive, but their phone calls are coming out. Ghost will take down one, but crazy refrag onto Trippin. Ghost running out on the north balcony, cannot find any more targets. And Acid in the perfect position to lock this out. But is that a disable happening right now? It is! It's a disable going down. Crazy will take down Neptunes, which will deny the diffuser disable. Avian in the hallway will take out Crazy. Acid with a shot onto Ghost. It's back and forth, but Avian is the last man standing for the defense, and he cannot win the fight against Acid. I will correct myself. It wasn't not a diffuser disable. It was a call from the Jacoby. But either way, an excellent round from Noble, all stemming from a diffuser plant once more.
Objective play. That's what wins games.
And you saw it on your screen there, ladies and gentlemen. Match point for Noble, which means Elephant Gang need to win 2 in a round in order to push us to overtime and keep their hopes alive.
Will the prophecy be true? 2 more rounds. That's all it takes.
We'll find out. I mean, I got to be honest, at this point, it's not seeming likely. Noble have yet to lose an attack.
Their executions are...
they're on point.
Timed.
And the biggest thing, it's that objective focus, and it's working. It's so simple for them. Isolate a part of the site where they can access, Dokabi phone call, smokes, and plant. It's done.
And they found that when they were playing on map 1. They found it again when they went to border. But unfortunately, they were starting on the attack.
Yeah.
Here, they get to finish on the attack.
Yeah, and they're definitely seeming a lot stronger on attack.
Yes, 100%.
When a Noble is allowed to isolate a part of the site, lay down smoke cover, they will plant the diffuser. If you do not have something serious to deny that diffuse plant, and here's the big thing, for every single one of these maps, what 2 defensive operators have been banned?
Maestro and Echo, and both, what do?
They deny the diffuse plant.
There you go.
So it's the perfect set of bans on defense for Noble style of play. I mean, it caters to Elephant Gang too. If we're being honest, Elephant Gang, when they were on attack, were very focused on that objective play. Not to the extent that Noble is being right now, but they were. We have to give them credit for it. That kitchen rush, I say again, was beautiful. But you said it yourself. On border, Noble started on attack. on Coastline, Elephant Gang started an attack, and it seems like ending on attack right now is the favorable position to be in. And now Noble seem ready to lock it out. They only need to win one of the next 2 rounds, and it's done.
Yep. And if not, they will go into overtime.
And they can still win.
And they could still win. Obviously, at that point, it would be a coin flip, and who knows who gets which spot, and literally nobody knows. So Yeti will be moving in from the Sunrise Bar. The early position taken here, as you see the Jaegers close up, checking his phone.
This could be some free kills for Yeti if he's able to use the information that Crazy just gathered. Or, for in that case, Crazy after coming off the drone.
Yeah, well, Crazy, I don't know if he was able to spot the Jaeger, but there you go. Ghost will fall back. A smart thing for E-Gang to do here, not overexposing themselves and making sure that they can still have players in these positions. Obviously, Cool Vibe Stairs, a very important position to hold, and having Neptunes as well to help you on the cross angle, I think, can be something to add on top. But you already see the first calls from the Dokkaebi, and yeah, Rut-Row indeed. Yeti will get the first one on Trippin, and that's a huge kill. The smoke is out of play at a minute 35.
That is tremendous for Yeti. That's about as powerful as a kill as it gets. And he will dodge the C4, which does nothing but to serve the purposes of the attack, which is to clear out some barbed wire. The C4, or the grenade, will do quite a lot.
Oh!
Yeti with the triple! He goes down to K9, but the damage is done! It's match point! We're going to need to see a 2 versus 4 clutch right now from Elephant Gang if they want to go to Pro League. It doesn't seem likely as the diffuser is being planted. Acid gets it down under cover of smoke once more. Breezy on the window by Billiards will cover the rotation from Avian. Will he see it in time though? Yes, he will. Crazy gets one, Breezy the other, and Noble retain their position in Pro League. Elephant Gang go back to Challenger League. Heads hung low.
Unfortunate there for any fans of Elephant Gang after these 2 hard-fought matches all the way to the end. 6 maps played by E-Gang against 2 different opponents, yet no victory to be found. And unfortunately for them, it means that they're... Good luck, Acid. But it's a very complicated spot to be in. Unfortunately, you're down in CL. You retain your spot in Challenger League for next season. But it's just not what you're looking for.